News Live at 10.
Social media is a great tool. However, it's not all fun and games for children and presents real dangers. Tonight, West Fargo schools and police teamed up with residents in the community to talk about the dangers and what we can do to protect our children. Valley News Team's Katie Opperly joins us in the studio to explain. Katie?
Mike, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, social media platforms like these open a door to dangers that no parent wants their child to have access to. Tonight, issues of inappropriate content and sexual predators were discussed, as well as cyberbullying and harassment throughout social media. Both West Fargo Police Department and Superintendent Beth Sleddy agree that cyberbullying is an issue that our kids face every day, whether it's happening to them or someone they know. They say it's easy for students to hide behind a keyboard or a phone and do something they shouldn't, and that's why everyone needs to work together. They ask parents to set limits and restrictions, stay educated about what apps your child is using and what they're doing on those apps, and know what tips and resources are out there both in and outside of schools.
Know their passwords, periodically be checking of who their friends are, who they're Snapchatting with, who they're communicating with, so that they can know, and don't be afraid to have open and honest communications with your children.
It's really our job as adults to help them to make good choices with their social media and to provide them with support and parameters around using the social media.
Sleddy says bullying and harassment through social media is not tolerated and will be addressed whether it happened during school or not. She says counselors, law enforcement, and school staff all work together to make sure they are able to fight against these issues. It's about having these conversations and staying educated to protect our kids. Mike?
Thanks, Katie. And if you have concerns about your child's social media activity, contact the principal at your school or the school resource officer. We also have tips and resources on our website. Visit valleynewslive.com. Several people were injured when a vehicle crashed into a building today in Grand Forks. It happened at the Bubble Laundry Company. Police say a black 2007 Dodge Durango driven by 37-year-old Areli Mokambe of Grand Forks slammed into the business. A woman and her young son, who were sitting next to the window inside, suffered minor injuries. Mokambe was cited for care required and unqualified operator. West Fargo police are asking for your help locating this person, a person of interest in an ongoing investigation. If you have information about him or his whereabouts, call law enforcement. Still no sign of a missing 20-year-old male from Jamestown. Family members of Archie Covington MacArthur IV say they haven't seen him in over a month. He's African-American, stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighs approximately 290 pounds, and has brown eyes and black hair. MacArthur recently lived in Jamestown, but also has ties to Fargo and to the Las Vegas area. Call Jamestown Police. The phone number is on your screen right now, 701-252-1000 if you have any information. The search continues tonight for a runaway juvenile. Javante Malik Logan is 15 years old. He's 5'8", approximately 138 pounds. He was last seen on Friday morning at school wearing gray Nike brand jogger-style pants and a dark green Columbia jacket. He wears his hair in a short dread style. Call 701-451-7660 if you have any information. Data obtained by Valley News Live shows an upward climb in the number of students vaping in the Fargo metro. We requested the data from Fargo, West Fargo, and Moorhead public school districts on kids caught vaping. In West Fargo, during the 2018 to 2019 school year, 78 kids were caught vaping. Since classes began this year, the number is at 12. For Moorhead, from September of 2018 to October 2nd of this year, 39 students have been caught vaping.
Just the most recent youth risk behavior data showed that 33% of youth in high school used an e-cigarette at least once the past 30 days, which was an increase from in 2017, which was about 21%.
Fargo is the only school district that does not keep tabs on those incidents. Fargo-Cass Public Health keeps track of tobacco citations issued at schools. And since 2016, the number has increased from 28 to 54, and the year isn't over. North Dakota National Guard soldiers are headed to the southern border. 14 guardsmen are going there on a security mission. The 2 helicopter crews will be in Arizona for several months. A Black Hawk helicopter will help Customs and Border Protection move troops and equipment along the border, and a Lakota helicopter will be used for reconnaissance and surveillance. The National Guard has been helping with border security operations from time to time since 2012. Hundreds came out to get their groove on, and even some officers joined in on the fun tonight. Fargo United is the annual block party hosted by Fargo Police at Ed Clapp Elementary School in South Fargo. Organizers say building relationships with kids in the community is a crucial part of their job.
Usually we're showing up when things aren't going well, and being able to have events like this where we have a positive experience provides balance to some of that unfortunate negativity that kind of comes with a law enforcement job.
Tonight's event featured music from Minneapolis rap artist Ron Wilson, a.k.a. Caboose, and Fargo PD's Community Trust Officer Michael Bloom. Teenage Swedish activist Greta Thunberg was in North Dakota today. She was spreading her message on climate change. The Standing Rock Sioux tribe supports her efforts. She joined youth and environmental activist Tokata Iron Eyes at the high school, where they talked to students about their fight to bring awareness to climate change globally.
Told me that she would like to come to our communities, and I invited her and said yes, this would be wonderful. And I think the message to spread to the rest of the world is that in this fight there is no imaginary boundaries between us. This crisis puts us all on the same level.
Greta was honored with a Lakota name, Woman Who Came from the Heavens.
Every time it rains, we cringe. You know, the skies are gray.
To have their hands full after heavy rain a couple of weeks ago. Many are still trying to keep water from seeping into their homes. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard talked to some of them who are worried that it's only going to get worse.
Where it was flooding probably the worst was, this is like an old coal room, but the water was just literally seeping through some of these cracks here.
Michael Almquist is one of the many in Grand Forks fighting this battle.
It got, you know, about this high.
Each time it rains, this happens.
Sadly, whatever we sucked up, moments later, it would just seep back up.
Pumping water out of their homes since the first flood 2 weeks ago.
I got up, I think, in the middle of the night, and then I thought, gee, something's running, and the sump pump started.
Dehumidifiers and fans are constantly running, doubling electric bills. For Michael's family, it's going to cost them about $4,000 to fix their home.
Never been to Lowe's or Menards so much in my life. It's been pretty stressful.
And that stress may continue with a storm front pushing their way later this week, which could bring more rain and possibly heavy snow.
It could get worse before it gets better. And another concern that I have is the fact that you have all this water in the soil there, and the cold season is upon us really soon. So if that gets frozen into the ground, that's not a good ingredient for spring flooding. That's not good at all.
Right now, people in Grand Forks are waiting.
To go through a third round of this, you know, it would be beyond exhausting.
The city wants people to check their sump pumps and to make sure that they're running outside and not into another drain in their home. In Grand Forks, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
And the Salvation Army is still giving out flood kits. For more information on that, visit our website at valleynewslive.com.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with no wait weather.
What a beautiful day across the valley, but now all eyes turn towards the second half of the weekend. A winter storm developing out in the Rocky Mountains and Cascades right now will be impacting our region. Now, this is a winter storm watch that's been hoisted by the National Weather Service for most of our area, and it lasts from Wednesday out west all the way through Saturday to the east. It's going to bring wind and some heavy bands of snow and a couple of different waves. And here's an update to the model that we showed you last time. As we take you into the day tomorrow, many of us here will see increasing clouds throughout the day. We will all experience cooler temperatures, and our wind will shift directions and become more northerly as we go toward the latter portion of our Wednesday. So rain tomorrow. It doesn't look particularly heavy, so that's good news for our viewers in the Northern Valley for tomorrow. But as we go into Thursday, watch what happens. The rain bands get heavier. We have Throughout the day on Thursday, rain changing to snow in the eastern third of North Dakota. And the main snow band will push its way in. This event is going to cause heavy snow in portions of western and central North Dakota, even in our westernmost counties from the Devil's Lake Basin to the Jamestown area. You will already be getting accumulations by Thursday night. For us in the valley, we could be getting rain that might mix with a few flakes or even some sleet as we get going throughout our day. But by late in the day and into Friday morning, many of us in the Red River Valley will see this change over to snow, while it will continue to rain across portions of northwest Minnesota. Roseau County waterlogged. Many in the Northern Valley seeing some moderate to heavy rain showers. Friday and into the day on Saturday, this storm system intensifies as it goes through the northern plains, and then it sits here for about a day and a half. And it's going to produce some windy conditions and a second band of moderate to heavy snow as we go through the day from Friday and into Saturday. That continues all the way till Saturday night before this thing kind of weakens. You see the number of isobars reduce there, and that means, well, it's still going to be cloudy as we close out our weekend. But here is a look at one model. This is the American model showing us some snow potential, and it has some really ridiculous numbers here, 3 feet of snow. Is that what Hutch is forecasting? No, but what I want to do is point out that as forecasters, we compare models to see if there's like trends. And this model has shifted the snow west. So now much of Minnesota not expecting to see what we talked about last night. As we look at the European model, it's been more consistent and is keeping most of the heavier snow off to the west. So here's what we know about that. Our western counties, more confidence that we'll have some significant snow totals on the ground from the first wave, like 6 to 12 inches. Then that second wave comes through, and right now, if it moves through the valley, we could see 6 to 12 here. Anybody that gets snow both times, in other words, from Wednesday night all the way through Saturday, could see some of those 12 to 18 inch totals. Isolated places could see more. Impacts of the storm we've talked about a lot. Impossible travel, tree damage, downed branches and power lines a possibility. Freezing hoses and pipes. Remember, the livestock and high-profile vehicles will have to battle winds as we go through the day. Here's where the storm is right now in the Pacific Northwest. As we take a look at your temperatures, we've cooled to the 50s north, still holding on to 60 in Fargo. Increasing clouds tomorrow. Our southern and eastern counties will have a chance to warm up, but nothing like today. We'll be in the mid-60s for most. Temperatures up in the Devil's Lake Basin will be dropping into the 30s for the afternoon. So for Fargo, morning clouds continue to increase. Winds become northerly. Temperatures only near 60 for Fargo. A little warmer south and east, and how about 30s for Devil's Lake? Here's a photo that's been shared with us by Tracy. Thanks so much. The Nadawash area looking beautiful this fall season. Forecast looks mighty sloppy all the way through Saturday, and then the temperatures late in the forecast period there will depend on how much snow we have on the ground, but it does look a little quieter.
Quite a difference between Wednesday and Thursday.
Yes.
All right, thanks. Later on Valley News Live 10 at 10, who's been tapped to serve as outside counsel to President Donald Trump as the House impeachment inquiry expands.